like this Doom is really good for them because they're so good at late game team fights, and Doom always gives you a late game edge. Do you in general agree with that?
It just makes the game plan simpler, right? Like, you're always going to have tools to win an engagement. You never really feel like your draft is going to fall off, so it allows T1 to just play a more balanced style. Like, if you, instead of Doom, are running pretty much anything that doesn't have Devour and Midas, like, you're on more of a clock. But even in this game, you're playing against Mag, Hyde, Anti-Mage, but it doesn't feel like you're on a clock at all. And I think that's all the power of the Doom.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, especially with Hanskin describing T1's style as being very oppressive. Like, they like to pressure you a lot early on. Doom is certainly a hero that, as you're saying, like, can go late game thanks to the way he generates gold, but is also able to be active and pressure enemy heroes. So it's kind of the best of both worlds for T1.
Yeah, but you can see their gold lead is growing. You know, you don't typically see this against Empower drafts, but this is what happens when you have a Doom, a Wraith King, just constantly farming his Cuckoo. No, he's going to go BKB, so they won't have the Manta Shard Axe. I think that's actually a pretty big power spike if he does go that route, just for killing the Anti-Mage, because they will have some difficulty with that if they don't get the Doom off.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he isn't going that route, because as you said, the pure damage is so effective, but I guess maybe they feel like that would be putting too many eggs into a late game basket. Still though, I mean, I'm looking at this is mostly a single core draft for Alliance, right? Like, this man can scale up and do a lot of physical damage, but they're mostly riding on the AM's late game output. I feel like Doom always is a pretty good answer to that.
Just crazy. I haven't seen mid towers alive this long in some time. It's 22 minutes almost. No Roche threat, and because there's no tier 1s, you can't really make a play for Roche. You need to make a play for kills. They're gonna go for it. Savage.
23 Savage has the shard, so he is not gonna die here right away. But on his second life, he may come back and just instantly die again. He will. There is nothing they can do about that. There's just too many heroes on top of the carry of T1. Now, not only is the Wraith King dead, but Reincarnation is on cooldown. T1 are not going to go and let this Roshan happen for free. Smoke breaks. Cuckoo, look at his positioning. On scan. Didn't get this DD. Oh, the Stomp coming in. The two-man soul bite with the Doom and the Inkswell. Just beautiful stuff from T1. And the fight is seemingly already over as the two cores are dead. S4, he tried to go for the kill on the White Mana. Winter's Curse does actually hold them in place and kills the Ancient Apparition finally. Maybe they can get out of here, but they're not going to win this fight without their two damage dealers. Hey, okay, Cold Embrace after Cold Embrace is saving him. Carl's done with that nonsense, though. He chases away the Winter Wyvern while his other two allies focus on the S4 Tidehunter. Third core down, and Alliance lose control of the pits. 23 Savage is back online, and he wants that mid tower.
Gotta respect T1 a little bit more, Cat. They have no Ravage. There was a buyback on the Wraith King, but didn't even have to use it because the perfect initiation comes off, and perhaps they were lulled into a false sense of security. They had the ward to the left, so they just don't see anybody, and then before you know it, you're double stopped and double doomed on both your cores. So really just excellent job. T1, it's the patience that's been winning them a lot of their games, because if they rush in, they try to get a DD on their Doom, like, they're not getting the initiation, they're not winning that fight, but they have the wherewithal to just camp the high ground, wait, and Alliance just wander into their own demise. Really nice job. Hanskin did a cool play at the end there. He mana drained Carl, preventing the second Scorched Earth and a potential War Stomp, so that actually saved both supports' lives. But either way, huge win for T1, and you're going to be content to just chill now, wait for Doom to come back up. You got BKB on Wraith King soon. He's going to need that, or he's going to die twice in a row. Pretty much all game.
Reincarnation is back up again, but 23 Savage is being patient. Managed to find a nice skewer back onto two of them, unable to get out the RP, but he does so now. That is going to be both of them dying. Oh, Cuckoo does need to get out his BKB with a call with Inkswell as well. The double soulbind, the silence stacking up, and they are both dead. Now FNG chased down by Carl as well. Once again, T1 just responding to Alliance and out initiating them. I thought this time around a nice two-man RP, but Damn, Cuckoo survives through just long enough to get off his BKB, and now he's going to be able to catch 23 Savage as well. The stun follow-up, the silence put onto him, that is going to potentially be a team wipe as long as they've got enough stuns, and they do.
All right. Yeah, hit him with the tips, too. I like it. What in the hell is Nico Baby doing back there? Either way, that is a team wipe. And Alliance just, again, they don't respect the power of T1. They get the kill on Wraith King. You said, oh, they're both dead. Yeah, well, Wraith King has built-in reincarnate, and Cuckoo had a BKB. Like, he has 3,000 health. There's no way that these are the right RP targets. And Alliance, like, they just don't have sustained damage in teamfights right now because their AM is not farmed. He's equal with a Wraith King, and he's had Empower all game. Like, that is nowhere near enough gold to try and carry this out. 12k gold lead, and look at the build, like Carl. He's got Refresher, he's halfway there almost.
Man, they used the Finger of Death on the right target too to try and blow up Cuckoo fast enough, and it still wasn't enough. This man is so tanky, Jesus. Just a Vanguard and a BKB, and he's got 3,000 HP. I think he was escaping from the team fight. Maybe he was cutting creep waves.
He had teleport in 20 seconds. He was just getting greedy. And T1, they're just gonna come. Oh, Anti-Mage, yeah, sure. I'll blow a TP and try and make it happen. See if we get any giggles. A couple.
And it feels like, Kyle, that that pressure that we're talking about, that late game pressure of like, okay, we don't actually outscale the enemy. That I feel like Alliance is feeling that pressure a lot, and that's why they're trying to make these moves, but they're not doing it as cleanly as T1 has been able. I mean, just look at the late game now. Because of Zephyr's performance and how many kills he's been a part of, he's gonna have an Aghanim Scepter soon. So if they ever catch the AM with a Soulbind and then they manage to Dark Portrait him, his own illusion is gonna burn through all of his mana.
Yeah, T1 is not falling off. All of their heroes can continue to buy pretty much just a full set of more items. Like 23 Savage is what? Armlet, BKB, Blink? You get a hell of a lot stronger.
Nice read there by Hanskin. Blink it away, just as Cuckoo trying to find him. Still, though, doesn't solve the current problem, which is that T1 is sort of able to just 5-man around, massacring buildings as they go. And Alliance can only play the edges of the map right now.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I really like the decision. 23 Savage buying the Shard really early has cemented them in this game. And a lot of times carry players, they can get a bit greedy, especially when they're somewhat off their typical pace, and they'll want to go for, you know, something that helps them accelerate. But he recognized, like, I will never get ult off without Shard. They're like, it's Alliance. They're going to be focused on the mana drain. They know how to play this game. And Shard is ensured that he actually can't be that initial target. Carl is playing in a way that makes it very tough for him to be found, but like we saw at the Major, I think Alliance need to recognize that they need to kill Doom to have any hope of winning a team fight, especially when this Refresher gets completed, and that's more than halfway complete.
It's just crazy to me that E1, like how effective they've been at team fighting around each other. I mean, we were talking about how like Doom is a very simple button, but consistently pulling off the Soulbind double Doom combo. Like I've seen teams with this two heroes, like, and they just never get the combo off a single time. And here, it feels like Zephyr is just always able to find not just a Soulbind, but a really good Soulbind on like 2 cores. You know, it's been kind of insane. And I feel like in some ways that has to be Alliance screwing up their positioning a bit.
I think they're just not really recognizing how fights have to start. Like, even as an example, when they killed Savage on Ancients, right, and run into the pit, you blew Ravage for that. If he has buyback, it's equalized. And then they run out as if T1 don't have like hero deleting abilities. Like you can't fall asleep. Like Grimstroke and Doom, you have to recognize that these heroes, if they're allowed the free